All right, today's episode, Superman is real. Stay tuned to see what I mean. Be surprised. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sean J, aka the Motivator. I'm here today for an all new episode. I guess technically this is episode 1 because the other one was just like an intro, but we're about to get right into it. This week's episode is called Superman is Real. Now, anybody that knows me knows I am a huge Superman fan, like the absolute biggest. So I guess the first chance of me thinking of a way to tell you that Superman was real was like top of my list. But you're going to be surprised on the turns that I take you on. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The chances of Superman being real are, kind of like the same amount as Santa Claus or somebody else like that being real. So I guess you could say like it's a fairy tale. But according to science, it might not be. I'm not sure if you've seen the movie called Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey, a bunch of other people. But they were talking about how they had went to go visit a planet that was orbiting a black hole. On this planet, an hour on that planet was 7 years on Earth. Now, I'm no mathematician. I'm no rocket scientist, none of that stuff. But if you do the math, 30 years on that planet would equal a couple million years on Earth. So I got to thinking, Superman's from some far off planet that has intensely ravaging gravity. Well, if I lived on a planet that orbited a black hole, my gravity might be pretty nuts, right? So think about it like this, right? Imagine I grew up on a planet where my DNA was designed similar to how we are on Earth, where it decays after 50, 60 years. But it decays at the rate of 50, 60 years on that planet's time. So by the time he turned 30, a million and some change years has passed on Earth. So if you plucked him out of that planet and brought him to Earth, in the time that he aged on Earth, 30 years, to a regular human being, he would seem immortal. He would seem like he had lived forever, hasn't aged a day for hundreds of millennia. Now, if the gravity was heavy, like if you were to go right now to Jupiter, you'd probably be crushed. Gravity is way too intense. But if you grew up on Jupiter, once you got back here, it'd seem like, cakework. If your muscles got accustomed to Jupiter's gravity, once you were here, you would seem like the strongest man on Earth, because the density of your muscles and bones and things like that would be way more intense. So imagine if the gravity on this planet was, let's say, 100 times Earth's gravity. Once it got here, he'd be 100 times stronger than anybody on Earth. Do you see what I'm kind of getting? And I said that to say, if you pluck somebody from a planet like that, brought them to Earth, be like Superman. I mean, he probably wouldn't have heat vision or be able to fly around the Earth so fast that he rewinds time. That's stupid, by the way. But it would be very similar. You're like, okay, what is the point of all this? What is the point of you saying that? It's a very good question. If you look at a lot of the ancient cultures, every culture from the dawn of man to now has had their gods. Some call them ancient aliens. Some say they're gods that came from a different planet. I don't know. I wasn't there. Neither were you. But we have always had these legends. Now, based on what I told you earlier about Superman being real, it would make sense that if an extraterrestrial or something from a different place came, and by the way, I'm having my phone because this is where I keep my notes because I'm terrible at remembering things. But anyway, a god, as we would call it, or as what our ancient brethren would call it, could just be somebody who, from another planet, who would age at an incredibly slower rate than us, that would be incredibly more dense and stronger than us. So we'd be like, oh my goodness, that's a god, because he can do things that I can't even fathom. Once again, you're like, what does all this have to do with anything? From the dawn of man, everything can be traced back to our desire to feel special. If you don't believe me, look at every war, every religious jihad, every. If you look at it from the very beginning, the true foundation, not, oh, we want this land. I mean, look at the conquest of America. Oh, God said it was meant for us. Look at the biblical story of the Exodus. Oh, God has created a special land specifically for us. Since the beginning, man has always said, oh, our God favors us over you, so we deserve this. We have always wanted to be special. So we create an external force that, for whatever reason, loves us more than anything else. So when you look at that, you have to ask yourself, are those things really real? Or are they our way of expressing our desire to be special in a universe that is vast? That is the equivalent of an ant walking around the Grand Canyon. Like, he wants to feel special in the Grand Canyon. But he's just an ant in the Grand Canyon. And that ant is not even a person, that ant is a planet. The atoms within that planet are us. So we're even tinier than the tiniest thing walking around this incredibly vast place. And within that, there's a sense of helplessness. But I think the point of all of this, from the point of our creation of a Superman, the creation of gods, the creation of religion, the point of all that, besides wanting to be special, is the understanding that you are. Scientifically speaking, and this is going to get a little graphic for some, but I want you to understand something. I have a son. He's 4 years old. I never thought I would have kids. I was married for 3, almost 4 years, and we tried really hard to have a kid, and it didn't work out. The relationship didn't work out. Things happened. But shortly after that, I started dating my son's mom, and we wound up having a son. I never thought it could happen. From the time of puberty to the time that a man can no longer make semen, scientifically speaking, he creates over 14 gallons of sperm. Now, I know some of y'all are like, ew, why is he talking about sperm? Within that 14 gallons are trillions of sperms. So you think about it like this. Think about how many siblings you have. Some of you may have none. Some of you may have 6. But out of trillions, you were born. The fact that you can watch my video right now means you made it. You beat out trillions over a lifetime. Think about that. There are only 7 billion people on this earth. Out of all of those, I know it may seem like, oh, I'm one of 7 billion. No, you're one of billions of trillions that were able to come, be alive, think, ask questions, all those things. You were. So automatically, from the moment you are conceived and the moment you're born, you are automatically special. Now, I don't want you to get that twisted. Being special automatically doesn't entitle you to anything, because, like you said, there are 7 billion more of you. What makes you truly special is what you do after that. You start out special, but it takes work to be legendary. It takes work to become a Superman. It takes work to become divine. That is what people don't understand. We see I can't begin to talk about the entitlement I see across the globe. Oh, I deserve this. Oh, this is something that's mine. No, you have to earn everything in this life. That's what the book is about. Understanding that no one owes you anything. The mistakes of the past, it's up to you what you do with it from now on. If your father was a thief, your mama was a rolling stone, whatever the case, whatever happened prior to now, it matters because it has shaped you. But what truly matters is what you do with that information, what you do with that pain, that hurt, that tear in your soul. It only matters what you do from here forward. You have to have full accountability and understand that you are special. You are one of a kind. You are amazing. But to become legendary, to become truly immortal, that takes work. That takes effort. That takes vision, instruction, follow through in order to get the reward. I'll explain those at a later date. They're in the book. Head over to infiniteaffinity.net, grab the book, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But for right now, in my opinion, somewhere along the line, there's somebody jumping around, saving folk, faster than the speeding bullet, can jump tall buildings, whatever the case may be. That's Superman. And there is a chance that he might be real. But you are here now. You can make a difference now. And that's all that really matters. Because at the end of the day, when I walk out of this door, the only people that are there are me and you. The only people that can save us are me and you. I look at you, you look at me. If there's a car coming, you say, hey, back up. You just saved my life. Vice versa. No superhero jumped down, pushed me out of the way. Nobody did. That is between you and I. So we have to look out for each other. We have to become legends together. Iron sharpens iron. Without me, there can be no amazing you. And vice versa. I'm not saying you can't be amazing on your own. I'm saying if I am the greatest singer of all time, what's the point if nobody can hear me? You understand what I'm saying? So the final thing I'll leave you with is this. Everything takes effort. It takes effort to be a God. God rested after 7 days of creating the earth. It takes effort, work, and it takes energy. If you want to become truly immortal, write a book, write some songs, or go record them. Leave them for your children. Leave things that will keep your children and your grandchildren talking about you for years and years to come. That is how you attain immortality. You're still talking about Picasso to this day. You're still talking about Sherlock Holmes to this day. You're still talking about all these different characters and people. The people who created the characters and the people themselves are immortal now. They've been dead for millennia. But we're still talking about them because they left a mark on this world. Be your own hero. Be your own Superman, your own Wonder Woman, whatever it is you want to be. But do it. And that's the end of this week's episode. Next week's episode, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go more into the book. But if you have any suggestions, things you want to hear about, things you want to talk about, leave them in the comments below. Hit me up on my email. It's Infinity Affinity. That is so hard to say. I need to change that. Infinity Affinity. Infinity Affinity at gmail.com. And you can hit me up there. You can hit me up on Facebook, Facebook / I Got This Motivation. However you want to get a hold of me. I want to know what you're thinking, what you need help with, what you want to talk about, and I'll try to get back to it as soon as possible. Not always as good as as I hope to be, but I'm continuing to get better because I'm continuing to sharpen my sword so that we can make, a better tomorrow for our kids and family and friends and things like that. So, appreciate you watching the second video. Hope to see you soon.